Success doesn't just magically happen to you. You have to really invest in yourself and in your future. Spend the time to learn the skills that you need to accelerate your growth. Hi, I'm Jovita, and this is Grow with Jovita, where I share tips and advice to help you find your voice and advance your career. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I believe the most powerful thing that you can do to accelerate leadership growth in your career is to find your voice and use it with confidence, clarity, and consistency. If you're feeling stuck or struggling and not really sure what to do or how to get out of it, then listen up. First, in order to find your voice, I want you to make a list of all of your strengths, your skills, your soft skills, hard skills, all of your strengths in your current position. And then I also want you to go ahead and list your weaknesses. Now, when you take a look at these lists, your strengths and your weaknesses, I want you to identify what are the opportunities and what are the threats, meaning what are the areas that are going to help you advance your career, give you more opportunities, or what are the threats that are actually holding you back in your current role, in your department, or in your company. This is what I refer to as a SWOT analysis, and it's the second part of the program that I do with all of my clients. Next, we're going to focus on creating your career confidence. Now, we all hate that awkward feeling when we're new at something or learning something. It's uncomfortable. If you want to get out of that uncomfortable and awkward period faster, then you need to practice and build up your competence. Competence is going to help you create confidence. The quicker that you practice, the more often that you practice, is going to help you get out of this period faster and really strengthen your confidence. Next, let's talk about using your voice with clarity. How do you do that? Well, perception is a tricky thing. Often when people are struggling or feeling stuck, it's because the perception that they have for themselves or the intent that they have is not what other people see. And so the way that you see yourself isn't matching the way other people see you. They don't perceive you that way. And so you're struggling. In order to get clarity, you really need to be better in tune with your emotions so that you can proactively self-manage them and respond in ways that are going to match the perception that you want out there. If you are a person who always very reactive, then you're not managing the perception that people have of you very well. You also want to make sure that you're very intentional and deliberate in how you're communicating, which medium you're using to communicate, right? Phone, email, in person, the approach and the tone of voice that you use, and then actively listening to make sure that there's no miscommunication between you and the other people involved. Really using your voice with clarity is how you are proactively managing your emotions so that you're always coming across the way that you want to come across, and that the communication you use is deliberate enough to where you're not causing any type of miscommunication or misunderstanding. Finally, building consistency with your voice is key. Just doing something once isn't enough. You have to be able to show that you can handle things time after time after time. It's always great when everything is going great at work and there are no problems. That's how you show up. But how do you show up when things are tough, when things are overwhelming, when you do have some negativity coming at you? Are you able to get out of it? What are you doing when nobody is paying as much attention or when shit hits the fan? How are you showing up consistently and using your voice in the ways that we discussed consistently? Having these habits, these systems, these routines that are going to keep you on point during the tough times. Okay, so let's use a real live example. So let's say that you're feeling stuck right now and you do the SWOT analysis like I mentioned, and you identify that one of your weaknesses is your interpersonal communication skills. Now, this can definitely be a huge threat to your career because it's going to keep you from having better relationships with your peers. Maybe you struggle with conflict management, creating noise on the team that, causes a lot of issues. Potentially not having a good relationship with your boss or not even feeling like you can speak comfortably with your boss. These are definitely threats to your career growth. Instead, though, we want to focus on how we can look at this as an opportunity. What are the opportunities you have to increase your interpersonal communication skills so that it can actually help you grow? And because this is a weakness, if you focus on fixing it, it's going to accelerate your progress in your career because it's going to make much more impact to your success. So again, you're going to feel uncomfortable and awkward working on this at first because it's not something that you're good at. You want to set some SMART goals of what you can achieve in the next 30 days. such as having some deliberate one-on-one conversations with people on the team that you trust, having set topics and questions in hand so that you feel more comfortable going into the conversations, right? So what are you going to do to help build your competence so that your confidence increases in this area? And then again, focusing on that clarity is, think about the emotions you're going to have. You're going to be triggered having these conversations because, again, it's uncomfortable to you. So being proactive and understanding the emotions you're going to have going into these conversations, preparing what you're going to say with deliberate communication during the conversations so that you're building that better perception and there's clarity in how your voice is being used. And then finally, that consistency. You can't just do this once in a 30-day period. You really need to do this a couple times a week if you want to build up that consistency. And again, the more often you practice, the faster you're going to get to that competence and confidence level. So that's going to be a SMART goal that you can set to build that confidence, clarity, and consistency in your interpersonal skills. Now, of course, I'm not suggesting you're going to be like perfect in your interpersonal skills after just 30 days. The idea is after 30 days, you kind of want to reflect and see where you're at, how much progress you've made, and kind of tweak and adjust your goals accordingly, right? So think about it. Now, by doing this, one, people will see that you're trying, that you're putting forth the effort, and that's going to help enhance your perception and your voice within your current role, within your department, within your company. The second thing is now you're going to also be able to get some feedback, some actionable and useful, timely feedback that's going to help you in improving and adjusting what you're going to do for the next 30 days. And obviously, the more feedback you get, the better it's going to help you pinpoint what you need to work on to accelerate development in this skill, in this area. Finally, you'll just have proven to yourself that you can tackle this challenge. You are reinforcing in yourself your ability to do this, and that's going to also help with your confidence as you move on to the other skills and other areas that you want to focus on that you identified during your SWOT analysis. So this was a perfect example of how you find your voice and then use it with confidence, clarity, and consistency. I know that it might seem hard, but it's actually really simple. Grab my SMART goals and success habits guide that actually give you the 5 steps in setting the SMART goals for whichever opportunity that you identified when you did your SWOT analysis. Now, if you're still feeling stuck or maybe you're struggling with doing the SWOT analysis in the first place, then go ahead and schedule a 30-minute validation call with me. I'll help you make sure that you're on the right track or focus on which opportunity is going to have the most impact in your career over the next 30 days. Remember to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel so that you get even more career advancement tips and advice on how to use your voice. Also, check out my next video on the 10 ways that you might be self-sabotaging your career. Make today great.